Welcome to Agadir and the final block on the third and final day of competition of the Agadir Grand-Prix 2018. Agadir is a shining gem on Morocco's coastline. It's a city that offers fine beaches and 300 days of sunshine. Agadir is also near to the Anti-Atlas and the Sahara, making it a great base to explore some of Morocco's outstanding natural features. But we're going to begin with this final block with the first of the bronze medal matches in the under 90 kilo category that features Joachim Bottio of Belgium. He's up against Islam Bozboyev of Kazakhstan. It'll be Bottio in the white judogi and Bozboyev in blue. And with commentary on this and all the medal matches, it's a very warm welcome to former world champion Loretta Kusakdor.
Thank you very much, Sheldon. And yes, this is going to be a very exciting third day of the final block. And, up against, in the white Belgium, as we said, Bottio.
The referee in the middle for this one is Everardo Garcia of Mexico.
Well, we have Bottio here in the Masters back in 2016, took a silver medal, and also in Dusseldorf, the Grand Prix back in 2016 and 15 gold medalist. So this is someone that is very familiar of being in a final block and also battling away for a medal. He's up against Bozboyev in Baku Grand Slam last year, was gold medalist, and Tunis this year was also a gold medalist. So definitely on form this year at the beginning, and now finds himself battling away as well for the bronze medal. The number 2 seed, the expectations and one of my top favourites of getting into that final, but sadly it wasn't to be today. But hopefully he'll come away with a medal for Kazakhstan. Well, Bottio, as you can see, really unsettled. It hasn't even got a grip at this moment. A Makakomi attempt, but really just to try and get out of trouble at the edge of the contest area.
Garcia, the referee, may be a little bit lenient and let him get away with that. But you and I know that there was no real attempt.
Definitely
there.
Not, yes.
He just took a dive, didn't he?
Well, Bozboyev there looking very confident out there, taking full control of this contest. He comes in with the drop Sianagi, drives his opponent over, doesn't really get the finishing touch to it, but still a very strong attack.
Came unstuck in the quarter-final against Hussein Kalmuzayev.
Yeah, that was a very tough round indeed. And
sorry, semi-final, that's my
but his
mistake.
journey up there was very positive. Just got unstuck in the last minute in that contest. Again, another strong attack from Bozboyev. 2 years junior to his opponent.
Bottio won't want to sit back for too long. So easy to just fall off the pace. That's a better effort from him. Yeah,
lovely Uchimata there, but as you can see, that elbow was tucked up in the air, lost a little bit of power and direction from it. That's the reason falling flat on his face.
Footwork was okay, managed to turn nicely.
Yep, got him very nicely indeed. Just left the elbow up. Bottio, as you can see, very bent over stance. Kazakhstan using his feet quite nicely there to break him up a little bit. Very strong in the grips, controlling both hands at the moment of Bottio. And Kazakhstan picks up the first Shido. Maybe a little bit too defensive out there. Well, they decided that both should pick up a Shido apiece, and I think that's a good call. Cross grip there, Uchimata this time entered much deeper on the Uchimata, having both hands on the same lapel, gave him a little bit more leverage and height on the attack. Here again, he's got the cross grip. That's what he's looking for. Enters there from the Uchimata, and even the drop Sianagi, as we've seen in the previous matches today. Bozboyev a little bit unsettled now. In the beginning of the first minutes of this contest, took full control of the fight. Now looks to be on the receiving end here, but now works into the Niwaza, trying to create an opportunity down there. A little bit slow to react, and the referee obviously sensed that and called a halt to any time wasting.
When he's launched the Uchimata, Bartio has looked pretty good.
He does, yeah. They're on the receiving end of the drop Sianagi now.
And then he's shown that little Sianagi effort, but he hasn't quite managed to get the feet in the right position to threaten the Kazakh fighter.
I think what he's trying to do, he needs to get a little bit of a spin, a rotation onto the Sianagi. He's got the cross grip, but he needs to swing onto the hips and that shoulder, and he's not just getting that swinging action in the upper part of the body.
Penalty apiece as we move into golden score.
Bozbayev looked a little bit slow in the last 2 minutes and really disengaged in this contest. Can he come back now in this golden score?
First time we've seen the little sit down, maybe a modified Kataguruma, could be Yoko Otoshi, but that little shape about it that had Bozboyev defending.
Well, Bautier out here now looks the more determined for that bronze medal. He seems really hungry. He's fighting for it. It's going to be we knew it was going to be a very tough match indeed, but for me, Bautier just wants it more, and that's starting to come out here in the body language of both of these athletes. Bozbayev is getting slightly frustrated. He's not getting his own way, but instead of demanding it, there's a lovely Uchimata there. Just lost a little bit of control.
Every time he's entered for the Uchimata, it's improved.
It's got better, it has got better. Look at there. Now you see the elbow, it's down a little bit now, where before it was stuck up in the air and he didn't have the power to generate through the movement.
The foot position was perfect again.
It was lovely. The flexibility and the range that he gets with the leg. Attempt there from Morote Sianagi from Bozboyev.
Good one.
Strong, really powered his way underneath, but there's the Sianagi, the Ippon Sianagi there, movement. Continued to drive.
And this time he did get the feet in the right position. It's really threatening here, Botio. The difficulty for Botio is as his power drains, despite the fact that he's putting in the attacks, Bozboyev has still got something left in the tank.
Yeah, you're so right there, Sheldon. He's put so much effort into the past, 3 minutes. He has piled all that energy into this fight, and it will start to wear now. We're coming into 2 minutes of the golden score. And sometimes you sense that you can be just doing too much and leaving yourself very vulnerable by making that mistake, a half-hearted attack, a weakness within the movement, and that's where Bozbayev will actually capitalize on it. And I think this is what he's waiting for. He's got the drop Sianagi again. It wasn't that deep, but it kept the walls from the door. It was keeping the referee at bay. They've only got a Shido apiece, so they're still not in any danger.
That's right.
They're accumulating the Shidos for the hand Sokumaki.
The contest can't end on 2 Shidos. Just managed to get back in. Probably just managed to attack in the right time with both hands on one side. So there shouldn't be any penalty for either here.
Bozbayev, for me, there was just a glimmer there of the Koichigari. Now, where he's very clever is if he can actually get the side skip. If he can get the skip and then attack the Koichigari, that will be the scorer for the Kazakhstan.
I hadn't noticed Bozbayev was the guilty party for ducking underneath there. He's picked up the second Shido. So he's the one in a difficult position there.
Now that was a very poor attack there.
Also, he had the arm on one side for quite a long time. Both hands on one side for quite a long time.
He has it again there, as you can see, the cross grip. He's not attacked with it, but he's let go. But he's got the sleeve, but he hasn't put an attack in. But Bozbayev really is backing off as well. He's not engaging.
That's it then. It will be Bozbayev to pick up the penalty for stepping out.
I think you're so right there. And I think possibly both of them will pick up a Shido, but it'll be Bozbayev that will be disqualified with the accumulation of 3.
I mean, that wasn't really much of a push, was it?
There you
we're sticking in, so
now that does surprise me.
I hardly thought that was worth it. You've got to be strong enough to stay up there, but Botio picked up the push out. They've been very harsh with that today. Seen a few people penalised for pushing out.
See, there's the skip. Now this is where Bozbayev is very clever on his feet. If he gets that side skip, Temiwaza attempt there from Bautier. Well, both the athletes are going to obviously start feeling this. There's 4 minutes they've been battling. A Makakomi attempt there from Belgium.
Again, Botio flirting with danger there by putting the right arm across, moving, and then attacking. They really like you to attack immediately, and for me that's not an immediate attack when you put the arm over and you set it up.
He's got 2 hands on the sleeve in the negative, and I think this is... And he made that so clear. It was so obvious what he was doing. But
ducked his head underneath again. It's
ducked again.
It was the second time that he's been given that penalty when I didn't notice the ducking underneath. Anyway, Joachim Botio of Belgium it is, who takes a difficult contest to watch because it was quite technical. And there's a lot of tactics involved in there, but from a judo watcher's point of view, I'm not going to say I was on the edge of my seat, but it kept me entertained.
Yes, there was always something you could actually sense something was going to happen. There was a possibility that both athletes could do something very special. You could sense that there was something trying to be set up here, but the clash was they were both very, very similar in style. And that was definitely a challenging one for the Belgium. It was a well-deserved bronze medal.
He did have the stronger of the attacks with the Uchimata, for example. He had 3 really nice Uchimata efforts. Yes. And he came the closest to scoring.
Yes.
He just shades it for me, and so it turned out with the 3-2 penalty decision. That's unfortunate, but hey, that happens sometimes.
He started off a little bit slow as well in the first minute, where I thought it was Bozbayev that would have actually come through with the bronze medal. Just at the base at the start.
We come now to the second of the bronze medal contests. Kejal Nabali of Ukraine is up against Nemanja Majdov of Serbia. It's Nabali in the white judogi, Majdov in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Roland Poiger of Austria.
Well, Nabali, 27 years of age, 6 years senior to his opponent, but as far as the world ranking, well, Majdov is obviously up there as the world champion and the #1 seed coming into this competition. And a little bit of an upset in that seeding, where he was defeated against Grossklaus in the semi-final, and now finds himself in the bronze medal final.
Well, Nabali and Maidov.
Well, we spoke about Nabali here right at the beginning of his performances and the time that we've seen him on the world circuit, and being so close but yet still so far, being on that podium on quite a few events throughout the years. But looking back, and obviously the research that has been done, he's missed out mainly because he's been up against the top seeds or a very, very strong opponent. He's never lost to someone that's a lesser player than himself.
If he were to lose here, he would end up having lost to Karl Musayev and Maidov, who's the current world champion.
Yes.
So it may look, you know, 5th place, missed out on the medals, but he will have lost to 2 of the best players in the tournament. And he's just so unlucky with the draw.
He's got lovely judo as well. I don't think he's such an aggressive fighter, but definitely a stylish player.
Always liked watching him from the time he was in the juniors.
Oh yeah, he was always flowed. His judo just flowed. He's got that lovely uchimata. And having that left-handed style, it's not very often you see so many left-handeds out there.
As far as Maidov is concerned, a loss earlier on. Well, we were talking about the fact that he's world champion, and the first time that he's lost since winning the world championship. It's his first competition
his first time back, yes.
So you won't want another loss today. He's had one already. So it'll be an unhappy return if he loses out here.
Nabali there with the uchimata once more, left-handed. Maidov just taking his time. He's still not really rushing this at all. Trying to get the appropriate sleeve. He's in fact trying to control the left sleeve of his opponent, because that's the problem that's causing him every time as he engages in this contest. It's that left hand that comes over the top, and there you have it, the first Shido for falling to his knees, just off that exchange of the left hand coming over the top from Nabali. Nabali once more with the Makakomi this time. Arms weren't as effective as they had been in previous attacks. Maidov just seems to be just pushing his opponent away. Doesn't like that closeness that Nabali is in with the left hand. As you can see, the hips in there. He's hovering around with that uchimata and defending. The Serbian does, and he'll pick up another Shido, I think, for that. And there you have it, second Shido, a minute, just under a minute and a half remaining. Now this time the Serbian gets the grip. First time ever that off the grip he was able to attack. And it was a strong move there. Nabali coming with a big Harai Goshi there. Maidov, trying to get the Kosota. Got his head caught up. The hips go through. So close. A little bit more pull on that sleeve grip and we might have seen him over. Well, Maidov really knows he has to put the work in. And this time, Nabali takes a Shido. It's the first one for him. There's a poor drop there. Maidov really starting to look a little bit tired there. Has to be a lot more precise in his attacks. Has to get the grip. Throws that arm over the top. The hips come through, but just doesn't get that rotation. Throws that right arm, but it's powerless as it comes over the top against Nabali. Again, a good strong attack from the Serbian. Well, seconds remaining before we go into golden score. Nabali comes over with the left hand. And both dabbling with the hips coming through just in the last seconds of that contest. Nabali coming over that left hand again. Steps across for Tayatoshi into the Makakomi. Maidov now looking for some Niwaza. Referee obviously feels that there's very little on offer in the Niwaza. Nabali driving into him, piling the pressure on the Serbian. Advancing each time against the world champion.
Nabali's got to be careful. He's reacting to what Maidov is doing rather than initiating.
Well, that was a bit of a silly move. The first time we've ever done a Sutemi was only pays the penalty for that with a Shido. Like we said, it was just unnecessary. Now this will give a bit more confidence for the Serbian, who comes over and right underneath there.
Seems to have frozen all of a sudden, has Nabali. Hasn't come up with anything resembling an attack, apart from that attempted Sutemi was, which was called a false attack, so
yes.
Struggling a bit here now. One more attack, and I think that'll be it.
I think you could be right there.
No, not going to need one. Well, he's not going to be given time for one. They've decided, no. I think, that they've seen enough. Nabali, for quite some time now, has been passive.
Well, for the last 30 minutes in the main match itself, in the first 4 minutes. Oh my goodness. What? Well,
that last one was a false attack.
A class that as a false, yeah. I know it wasn't one of the best attacks, but I didn't think it deserved the Shido, but
Nabali did.
Yep.
Nabali thinks it's Christmas, doesn't he? He's walked off there, he's looking at his coach.
Nabali takes a bronze medal here at the Grand Prix in Agadir.
And Maidov suffers a second defeat in the day.
It's a lovely attack there, as you can see. That was one of the strongest attacks.
Disappointment for the world champion, but absolute relief for Kejao Nabali as he picks up another Grand Prix bronze medal. I'm pleased
really
for him as well, given the difficulties that he's had. He had to fight Kalmuzaev and then Maidov there, so he's done well to come out of that with at least, well, just with one win out of those. We come now to the final of the under 90 kilo category. Cyril Grossklaus of Switzerland faces Hussein Kalmuzaev of Russia. It'll be Grossklaus in the white judogi, Kalmuzaev in blue.
Well, down on paper here, you've got Grossklaus that has got more wins under his belt, more matches under his belt, doesn't have the same world ranking, but very, very similar as age and grade. So Gross-Klaus today for me has been one that has shined a little bit more. Been quite impressive. He's battled his way through to this final. But we are fully aware that he's up against a very strong Russian.
The referee in the middle for this one is Jean-Claude Jimby of Gabon.
So Kalmuziev, on paper, is number 3 seed here in this competition. Kalmuziev there tying his opponent up in knots really with the grips, just ruffling him up a little bit there, just settling this young man from Switzerland. Throws that arm over the top, right hand controlling his opponent's left shoulder, touches the feet, breaking the balance each time, and Gross-Klaus doesn't even know what's happening. He really hasn't got started. He's just fumbling around there as if he's got blindfold on. Kalmuziev once more gets that left hand on the lapel. Now he's got the left hand on his sleeve, so he's really tying Gross-Klaus up in knots at the moment. Well, there's a break of the grip there, really trying to break away from that contact. It's causing him a few problems now. Kalmuziev, the right hand drifting up onto the top of the shoulder as he controls Gross-Klaus's head there. He's got the sleeve, he's setting it up, he's drawing his opponent onto his hips, but sadly the referee calls mate. Now I know he's going to give Gross-Klaus another Shido and also Kalmuziev, but Kalmuziev was setting it up. You could see it happening. You could sense that he was just trying to get the reaction and draw his opponent onto the hip for the Uchimata or the Ogoshi. Just run out of time. Kalmuziev, you can see, just playing a bit of a chasing game, trying to get hold of Gross-Klaus that really doesn't want to engage at all. No sooner he gets close, he's trying to back out when he doesn't get his own way. Kalmuziev coming over the top again with that right hand, drawing down on the left shoulder, getting the head. Again, Gross-Klaus breaks it off. He doesn't like it at all. But while he's trying to back out, he's leaving himself very vulnerable with the legs. Koichigak, very close. Well, that's where Gross-Klaus can be a bit dangerous at times, because he slips those legs in now and again where you think he's all over the place and hasn't got any control. He just drives in and hooks in with the Ochi and Ochigari. Ochi and Kochigari. Well, Kalmuziev picking up his second Shido. It's 2 apiece in the last minute now. We're still seeing a battle of the Kumikata going on here. Not quite sure what they've called mate for. Obviously trying to confirm with the...
Maybe cancel one of the penalties.
Cancel one of the penalties, and I think it's the one for Kalmuziev. So it's back to the one. Kalmuziev throws that arm once more, controlling the left shoulder, but Grosclose does very well. Takes that grip off every time. Shows how powerful he can really be. A little bit wiry out there, and Kalmuziev really just wants to power up and take control. And erratic pace. Well, as you can say, Grosclose, all he was doing was breaking off and defending, and I'm quite sure that Grosclose will pick up the third and final Shido. Not one of the most exciting matches, but there was intense moments there.
I think there's frustration from both the coaches, but at the end of the day, both fighters go out into the middle with their plan and their instructions, and I've got no doubt that it was Grosclouse's plan to frustrate Kalmuziev as much as possible, and his coach told him, don't let him get his hands on you.
Yes, I think you're right. I think the danger was if Kalmuziev was able to grip up with two hands and keep him static, he would have actually buried him. So Grosclose was just about tearing it off, keep him busy, doing as much as he could with the feet, but without becoming too dangerous and without engaging too closely with the Russian.
Hussein Kalmuziev of Russia took that one. Okay, we come now to the bronze medal contests in the under 78 kilo category. Julie Pirey of France faces Yarden Meyerson of Israel. Pirey in the white judogi, Meyerson in blue.
Meyerson has the upper hand of a win against this opponent.
The referee in the middle for this one is Cosmin Costea of Romania.
Well, as we've seen for the Israeli team, they've had some success over the weekend, and will that success flow here into this bronze medal final for Meyerson? Country that's hosting the European Championships in April. Pirey, first bronze medal, first opportunity of a medal here in a Grand Prix. Now both trying to settle into this contest and take control of the match. Pirey, Junior European Championships, was bronze medalist back in 2014. And last year, the silver medal in Belgrade European Cup. Meyerson, very familiar of being in finals of Grand Prix level. Antalya last year was a silver medalist, along with a bronze medal in Tashkent.
They've got a strong men's team throughout the weights. Maybe down at 60 a little bit late, but as far as the women are concerned, 48, 52, 57 we've seen, very, very competitive. They need to get a couple up at the heavier end if they're going to compete in the team event, because you have to qualify people, so maybe Meyerson is eyeing that up.
An attempt for the French with the Sutemi-waza, but left herself very vulnerable as she turned her over, and now finds herself on the receiving end of an Osakomi. Meyerson capitalizes on that big mistake that was made by the French girl, and Osakomi, and the time is ticking away nicely, that Meyerson will take the bronze medal here today in the under 78s.
She moved well from a weak Osakomi position, to be honest, to really strengthen it, did Meyerson. And Pire wasn't able to react when she had the chance to escape. The first 2 or 3 seconds, you've got to make something of that.
Definitely, you've got to react very quickly. And she seemed to do the Sutemi-waza, went straight onto her own back, but then paused. And that was the danger.
So it's Yarden Meyerson who pushes the Israeli medal tally further up the rankings. Sorry about that. Promised I wouldn't do that. Congratulations from Shani Hershko for Yarden Meyerson on her bronze medal. Take a look at the highlights, and we'll be back with the second of the bronze medal contests. Come now to the second of the bronze medal contests in the under 78 kilo category. Vanessa Duro of France faces Anastasia Dmitrieva of Russia. It's Duro in the white judogi, Dmitrieva in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Luis Rivera of Puerto Rico. Well, there'll be some degree of disappointment for Russia with Dmitrieva not having made it into the final. She can salvage something from her visit here to Agadir by taking a medal, but I think given the nature of the competitors entered into the under 78 kilo category, she would rather have fancied her chances of coming away with the gold.
We had tipped her as being the top favourite of going through, and sadly it hasn't been. Dmitrieva in Antalya last year took the gold medal in the Grand Prix, also a bronze in Tashkent again last year in the Grand Prix, and so she's very familiar of being up there in finals at this level of events. So for us it was a little bit of a surprise not to see her in that final. To a European Open in Glasgow back a couple of years ago, took a silver medal, and last year in the Tunis African Open, bronze medalist. 11 athletes participated at the beginning of the day in this weight division. Got one of the largest events. Dmitrieva just trying to take a little bit of control in this contest, dominating the pace. Duo with that right hand high on the collar, trying to draw Dmitrieva's head down and place her in a very vulnerable situation on the edge of the contest area. which doesn't pay off. Dmitrieva picks up the second Shido though, and we've still got 2.5 minutes remaining. It's not a good situation to be in. As Dua once more, oh, and a lovely counter-attack there. She sensed the attack as she drew the arm over the head, draws the head down, attacked the leg, and the counter was there for Dmitrieva. Well, halfway now in this contest. Just a handful of Shidos being given out so far. No one either close to attacking it as yet. There's an attempt of a Sutemi waza from the Russian. Really wasn't that convincing. Maybe more of a ploy to get down into the niwaza and try and work some wonders down there. Dua, as you can see with the left hand on the lapel, throws the right hand over onto that shoulder again, which is very effective and does unsettle Dmitrieva quite a bit. Dmitrieva now draws on that right sleeve across her chest, looking for the Ouchigari. Now that was quite effective there, as the French girl had to hop back off the mat area to defend that. Dua once more throws the right hand, tries to catch the collar and control the head. The Kosota, again very close in scoring there, but knocks her down into the niwaza and follows through, looking for an opportunity there. It's a battle of the grips going on at this moment, but the upper hand is to the French girl, and as you can see, that right arm that comes over the top, causing a few problems for Dmitrieva. Comes in for the Osotogari, but leaves herself a little bit vulnerable there. Now both picking up another Shido, so that's 2 apiece with just under half a minute remaining. Again, Dura throws the right arm over. Dmitrieva, well, I would say attempting of a Sutemi waza, but that was being very generous, wasn't it? I think it was just more of a ploy to get out of trouble as she felt the threat of that right hand that was over the top.
2 penalties picked up by both fighters in normal time. That leaves us in the golden score period. Dura and Dmitrieva.
Drop Sianagi from Dua. First attack into the golden score. Starts off well against the Russian. Again, throws that right hand on as close to the collar, but Dmitrieva has taken her 4 minutes, but it's now starting to be able to deal with that sleeve. She braces down with her head onto the right arm, hooking in with the Ouchigari. Attempts it again and again. How many times does she need to see it before she realizes it's not going to work? Well, obviously the flurry of attacks is the one that she's trying to acknowledge to the referee, that she has put 3 attacks one after the other. Maybe that's enough for the referees to be convinced that 1 more Shido should be awarded to Dua. And there you have it, as she backpedaled off the contest area, picks up the third and final Shido, and Dmitrieva takes the bronze medal for the under 78s.
It's rather like a sigh of relief at the end there from Dmitrieva, letting of breath as she realised that was close. Let's have a look at some of the highlights, and then we'll be back with the final of the under 78 kilo category. Come now to the final of the under 78 kilo category. Maika Zich of Germany faces Anastasia Turchin of Ukraine. It'll be Zich in the white judogi, Turchin in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Murad Khairi of Algeria.
Well, Zich, 24 years of age, her opponent Turchin, 23. Very little between them. World ranking, well, a slight difference. The Ukraine up at 14th position on the world ranking. No heads-to-head though, so these ladies will be going in a little bit unsure of how each one will perform. Zich, for me, has performed very well today. Defeating in the first round Monzia of Morocco, then went on to defeat very easily Ramirez of Portugal, and then defeating Dmitrieva in the semi-finals for a place in the final. So she's had a tough round up to this final position. Turchin had a bye in the first round, defeated the French girl Drua, and then went on to defeat Meyerson of Israel for a place in the final.
Yeah, stadium announcer saying that this was the first time that Turchin had been in a Grand Prix final.
I find that hard to believe,
Yes.
because she's been on the scene for such a long time.
She's up there in the top 20. She's at number 14 on the world ranking list. Now she should get the points if she never managed to be in a Grand Prix. She's won 2 Grand Prix already, so I don't know. Maybe I misheard.
Maybe it was Zich.
What he said. Yes.
Zich, I would
That would
imagine.
be, I was going to say.
Zich has most probably
Yeah,
not
Maika
been
Zich, yeah.
had a Grand Prix medal. It's the first opportunity. Well, they've both guaranteed a medal, so that's obviously this will be the first for Zich, regardless what colour it is. Turchin slightly taller than her opponent. Now this is a young lady for me that uses her height to her advantage. She's quite upright and tall, very powerful as she throws that left hand over onto the collar. She draws her opponent in. She's very powerful indeed, and braces well, looking for that opportunity, those legs to come across. And the style of techniques that she uses, the big harais, the uchimatas, the ouchigaris, very strong approach in her judo. So this is someone that really capitalizes on her size.
This is indeed the first time that Maika Zich has been in the final of a Grand Prix. In fact, it would be the first Grand Prix medal of any kind. We had 3 fifth place finishes in the past, as close as she's come, but she's going to medal today.
Well, when we were talking about styles and used someone that got the Osotogari, the German, very, very close in attacking, but when we're talking about styles and this Ukraine, how she uses her size to her advantage. Now her teammate who's in the final in the under 70, the plus 78s, could take an example from this fight herself and this fighter, in the way that she works, that she's very tall, but she doesn't use it to her advantage. Those two need to get together. You could have a brilliant heavyweight in Kalini if she fought like Turchin. So 1 minute and 13 seconds remaining. No shidos, no scores yet. Turchin throws that right. Oh, she walks nearly onto the Makakomi. She threw that arm over the top, but led with her leg as well, which knocked her off balance. And she throws the left hand over the top, follows through the Uchimata, doesn't get the rotation or sustains the grip, falling onto her face. And Turchin takes the first Shido. Now the German's trying to now control that left sleeve. Does it well, frustrating the Ukraine. With 18 seconds remaining, it's looking more and more like this will go into golden score. Turchin throws that arm over. The German attempting a Makakomi, didn't get the rotation.
And as Loretta said, this one is going into golden score. Not the most riveting of contests. Neither fighter able to really open up and come up with big strong attacks, irrespective of whether they work or not. It'd be nice to see what happens here in the golden score period.
It's the Uchigari from the German. Nice entry. Just didn't have the drive off the back leg. Oh, Sotogari! Oh, yes! God, so close. Well, I thought it was all over and done with there, but sadly, she'll let me down. Ukraine throws that left hand over the top again. Does she get those legs as she tempted the Ouchigari? She drives. Oh, and they collapse, the pair of them. Oh, second Shido goes to Ukraine. Now that's 2 on the board. Turchin takes the right hand on the lapel, throws the left hand over the top. Well, Zich just collapsed there. Might pick up a Shido for that.
Now's the time to put the pressure on from Turchin.
Turchin, well, that was a little sign to say that she's now totally exhausted. And rightly so, she's put so much effort in the last minute. Makakomi attempt there for Turchin.
Didn't get the left arm of Zeke coming across her own body, Turchin there. Like is he able to fall onto her front, not really threatened with that Makikomi.
Zeke comes in, blocks with there, looks for the, she can see she's trying to look for the Ouchigari, stumbles backwards. She will pick up a Shido for that. And there you have the first Shido going to Zich.
Chink in the armour maybe.
Well, I think she's really burnt herself out a little bit. Turchin with the left hand over the top, steps across, throws the arm onto the opposite side.
Didn't set up the Makikomi strongly enough
to
threaten Maika Zich. back to the drawing board.
Left hand once more, which is the danger. Hooks in for the Ouchigari, though. The arm's right at the back. Oh.
Good effort.
Really good effort, but every time she does that without a result, it's taken more and more energy out of the tank. And that's my concern with the German, that she might have burnt herself out now to make it effective anymore. Oh, but there you, another glimmer of hope came from the German. Turchin. Well, I don't know whether they feel that Turchin has not done enough in the last seconds or so. She has got the 2 Shidos, and we're 2 minutes 19 into golden score. Has the German done enough attacks in there, positive attacks? Well, I think she has. She's been up on the attacks, no doubt about it. And there you have it. A Shido goes to Turchin, and the win goes to Zich.
The first ever Grand Prix gold medal for Maike Zich of Germany. Anastasia Turchin has to settle for the silver. She won't be entirely disappointed, but you know, she came in here as the number 2 seed.
Yes,
so does what it says on the tin, doesn't it? You know, she came second,
yeah.
But she could really have taken that one. We come now to the awarding ceremony in the under 90 kilo category, and the medals are going to be presented by the IJF head refereeing director, Mr. Juan Carlos Barcos. The first of the bronze medals goes to Kejau Nebali of Ukraine, and to Joachim Bottio of Belgium. Silver medal goes to Cyril Grossklaus of Switzerland. And the gold medal goes to Hussein Kalmuzaev of Russia. Now the national anthem of Russia. I can't tell them apart.
No.
Hussein and Hassan, I suppose you need to spend a good bit of time with them, but they are identical twins, so it's very, very tricky. One should shave or something.
Yeah. They even have the same growth.
Yeah, big smile. They're not that different in weight, I suppose. One being 81, the other up at 90. I don't think he's the sort of, he doesn't look like the sort of fighter who's cutting a lot of weight.
No, definitely not when you compare him to the other athletes that's on the podium there.
Right, coming up next, the first of the bronze medal contests in the under 100 kilo category. Batir Hojamhumedov of Turkmenistan faces Patrick Moser of Switzerland. It'll be Hojamhumedov in the white judogi, Moser in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Khalid Anwar Ali of Egypt.
Here we have the athletes approaching the field of play into mat edge.
There's no coach in the chair for Hojamhumedov. There's no coach in the chair for him. I suppose he's either wearing one of ours or there just is no coach for him.
Well, he's got an IGF jacket, so possibly
one of ours then, yeah. So he failed the judogi control, and in that case, if his judogi doesn't conform to the rules, then we give the judoka one of ours. But the downside for them is that they have no coach in their chair. For some fighters, that may be a blessing.
Well, for me, most of today was probably one of the more exciting fighters we've seen. African Open Championships back in 2015, picked up a silver medal. When it comes to the statistics of both these athletes, very close indeed. Not quite sure what they're waiting for right now. Well, Shido goes to the Turkmen.
There was some action that Hojamhumedov undertook that infringed the rules, and he picked up the Shido for it. Looked away for a second and missed exactly what it was, but it couldn't have been anything serious because it's just a single Shido. Normally when they take that long, it's either a score or Hansokumake. It could have been a disqualification, but it was obviously it wasn't anything seriously untoward, and a single Shido has gone up against Hojamhumedov.
Turkmen, as you can see, loves the idea of getting up close and very personal there as his arms wraps around his opponent's core. Very much a sort of a wrestling style of judo.
And that pressure that Loretta's talking about has resulted in Patrick Moser just turning away and saying, I don't like this at all.
Just panicked there and
completely
under the pressure.
Bailed. Unattractive defence, I'm afraid. And he picked up a Shido for it. A little under 2.5 minutes left to go. No score yet. Both fighters have picked up a penalty apiece.
Well, here you can have the Turkmen, as you can see, loves the idea of coming in very close into the racing into that space. Doesn't very much a wrestling sort of style of fighter that he is. Comes under the arm and around the back, but he does it obviously to the rules, which means you can't just double grab with the bear hug movement, but he does it alternate with one arm, then follows through the next. But for the Swiss, he really is uncomfortable with that closeness. And as we've seen, he's picked up one Shido because of that, bailing out, turning his back just to avoid the big Kosota or the Ouchigari attempts from the Turkmen. They have drops underneath there. The Yoko Sutemiwaza there, nicely executed, scoring Awazari. Not sure what he's done, picked up a slight injury there.
Just about squeezed that Wazari out there, didn't he? Got him on this side.
A Makikomi attempt there, but countered by Mosa, who picks up a Wazari. Nicely controlled and well anticipated that move from his opponent.
Yeah, there's the Uchimata. That fails, and Mirza begins the turn. Brings him down onto his
tightness
side.
there, the arm ran very close, both hands close to the bell with the Kosota.
Well, a truly spectacular finish there by Hojamu Hamedov of Turkmenistan, getting hold of Patrick Mose. He was in there for as long as he could. 3 minutes he lasted.
Just gets better every time you look at it.
Hojamu Hamedov demonstrating some beautiful footwork there, despite the fact that he throws himself. This is without doubt Sutemiwaza. But, you know, you've got to categorize that as well as Sasai.
Sasai
That's the
Sakura
movement.
Kamiyashi, yeah. Gets that, it's real pure core strength there. It's the Sasai move. There you have it. Just on that. Oh, buries him.
Right, we come now to the second of the bronze medal contests. Viktor Demyanenko of Kazakhstan faces Karl Richard Frey of Germany. It'll be Demyanenko in the white judogi, Frey in blue. And the referee in the middle for this one is Arto Fando of Belarus, who is Loretta.
There you have the lineup, no head-to-head, 26 years of age, both the same age, but world rank again 50 to 37. There's very little that will divide these gentlemen, other than there's a few wins under the belt of Freya. And based on performance today, my predictions is that Freya might come through with this bronze medal. Defeated in the semi-final by Denisov. Demirenko here in the blue, backing out slightly, but both picking up a Shido apiece in the first 30 seconds of this contest. Not the greatest of starts. Demirenko throwing the arm over the top, right onto the belt. Frey turning his back, obviously very unhappy with that sort of move. Now can Frey turn him over there well. It was a nice attempt.
For a big man, there's something about his movement that's really nice to watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
He moves quite agile. He's got an agile move, hasn't he? Flows quite nice, like a lightweight. He's quite a tall, slim looking athlete, long limbs. but he's got nice footwork.
I met two of his brothers today. One of them's competing in the plus 100. The other one is lurking around somewhere.
So there's 3 of them, isn't there?
Yeah, well, 3 as far as I know, and maybe more. Maybe sisters involved, I don't know, but there's at least 3 of them anyway. Slight clash of heads there.
And his brother's in the final, isn't he?
That's right.
Plus 100s. Yeah, that's right. Defeated Mikhailin.
Guess who? Oh.
Knew there was something I didn't like about it.
2 minutes gone, no score yet. Both fighters have picked up a penalty apiece.
Well, it is really a battle of the Kumikata here. Frey got his head caught, but he's right on the hip there, trying to lever his opponent over there. A bit of a gutsy move, but oh, a real continuation there. Would it ever count? Would it count? Well, it seemed like it flowed all the way through to the end. I didn't see any pause.
Yeah,
My gut feeling feels that he'll get the score. There we have the repeat of it. That was one earlier on.
Right, and I think this is where that stops now for me. It's when he starts to rush his feet, I think that there was a pause there.
Yeah, there was a slight pause in between.
And you really only see that in slow motion.
Oh,
when seen at pace, I think, yeah, that looks like was as Loretta was saying, but it's on the replay, he goes down and then he has to gather himself for the push.
Yeah.
And it's in the gathering himself that they say, we think there was the pause. Close?
Well, it's a great attack,
Yeah.
there's no doubt about
absolutely.
it.
Very strong. Minute 16 left to go.
Freya trying to throw that right hand over the top, trying to get in there. Draws it onto that shoulder. Steps across his... Drops... Oh, the Ippon-Tsunagi!
If the jacket wasn't...
Yeah, if the jacket had
loose.
stayed on, it might have been a different thing altogether.
Is this the strong part of the contest for Karl Richard Frey, I think? Comes just at the wrong time for him as well. This pause, it suits Demyanenko, who's come under some pressure now.
Definitely, this would be a time for him to compose himself, get his breath back, find his second wind before he enters into the next stage of this contest in the last minute. Frey really could have done with piling more and more pressure. He was really getting to him at that latter stage there.
Kazakhstan have got a good history of under 100 kilo category fighters with some degree of success.
Freya trying to throw that arm over the top there for Koshiguruma.
And I'd like to tell you who it was that was world champion, but I've forgotten. That's the absolute truth. That can happen sometimes.
It's called a senior moment.
I'm afraid so. Little stab there at Ojigari.
Just missed it completely though. It had the arms, the upper body in position, but the legs just seemed too short.
Maxim Rakov, about 100 kilos, that's who it was.
Oh, who would remember
2009. I didn't have to go anywhere. It just took a little, just taking time at my age. Rakov.
Well, Demyanenko looking to have that second wind now, and he's but the body language is saying that he's really disengaged in this fight slightly. He's struggling out there. It seems to be a real battle where you have the German, he's just now taken the match to him and he's chasing him all the way, desperately trying to get back in there, but you've got Demirenko with 2 Shidos. One more would result in a hand Sokomaki. And he's not sending out the right signs, is he? He's really, there was the drop, and I think that's what's going to just crucify him. And there you have it. The third.
But that's really unfortunate.
It was third and final one, but a deserving Shido at the end. They really, but the whole body language just seemed to change. Just lacked the confidence or the actual oomph in him. A little bit flat there, and that's golden score.
Karl Richard Frey of Germany it is who takes that bronze medal, as predicted by Loretta Kusakdor.
Yes.
Picking them today.
I know, I should have put the lottery ticket on.
Let's have a look at some of the highlights, and then we'll be back with the final.
And I'm really looking forward to this final.
We come now to the final of the under 100 kilo category. Kirill Denisov of Russia faces Jorge Fonseca of Portugal. It's Denisov in the white judogi, Fonseca in blue.
Well, you can't see much difference with the world ranking, but head-to-head, Denisov has the advantage. But what was brought to my attention there, that Fonseca, first Dan?
For the time
obviously,
being.
Yes, obviously not very interested in the grades, just likes to fight. And has the biggest smile of the whole tournament, as far as I'm concerned, this Portuguese athlete.
Referee in the middle for this one is Cho Min-sun of the Republic of Korea.
Well, Fonseca, George, was my tip for the gold medal here today. Fantastic performance in Dusseldorf a couple of weeks ago. And hopefully the big man won't let me down today here in this final of the under 100 kilograms.
It will unfold before your very eyes.
Yeah, well,
here it is.
He's up against a tough opponent, Denisov, double world medalist. And but Fonseca, as you look at sort of just recent results, a third place in Dusseldorf, a third place in Paris Grand Slam, in Zagreb a silver medal. He's someone that's consistently producing and performing at this level of tournament. So for me, he's got to do it sometime. And he's been working so well here, and what's been so effective for him is the Sienagis and the Uchimatas, and there you have the when he connects with the Sienagi or that Uchimata, well, he's one of these athletes. He can either throw really big, or he can be on the flying end of somebody else's technique. There's no happy medium with the man.
I can't remember who it was that said he's the best fighter in the world in the first minute.
Well, do you know, I think you could be right. But we've seen him having a few battles along there, and he's done, his condition is obviously, if it's improved. The hips in! Oh, it's so close. And Denisov knows that. He knows that this opponent is very dangerous indeed.
Just got to weather that first storm.
He's just got to try and wear him out in the first minute, then he can take control. Well, he stepped across and turned him over like a baby there.
He got caught with the to the back. He was resisting to the rear. He just had that little feint, and Denisov came away from the feint.
Yes.
But he was still leaning forward, and
he just tripped him over. He just
it was a stumble, wasn't it?
Stumbling over, but the upper body control was there all the time.
So Wazari the lead with a little over 2 minutes left to go.
Denisov there, as you can see, flirting with that Uchimata, but
yeah.
Well, hey, am I disappointed in that one? But a great win for Denisov. But for Fonseca, well, do you know what? He was gutsy out there. He really was gutsy. He went for it. It didn't pay off.
As he always does, he always goes for it.
It's 100%, like we say.
Yeah.
Either he throws big or he gets thrown with absolute wazzers. And Denisov just gave him a bit of a judo lesson there, I think. And the big smile. Oh, that just melts your heart, doesn't it?
Well, Denisov says, okay, I've got this one.
See you next time.
But there are others to come.
Yes.
Fonseca's the kind of guy who you know is going to be back. We'll take a look at the highlights from this one because you'll see where the slip is.
Well, that's the famous words, isn't it? I'll be back. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Well, there is our Arnie of judo. Usotagari overstretched himself with that Osota, left himself so vulnerable, but it was the upper body control of Denisov. Look at those arms, just waited. He actually teased him with the Osotagari. He sort of flirted with the idea of letting him have it, and then just planted him there. Beautifully done.
Well, if you've got your feet up watching at home,
Now you just feel that if he'd switched it to the Siotoshi, he might have actually been able to do something with it. But he just overstretched that Osota, and there was no rescuing himself for it.
you'll have enjoyed that one then.
Well, that was a really nice, that was an exciting final.
Right, we come now to the awarding ceremony in the under 78 kilo category. The athletes are ready and lined up to receive their medals, and the first of the bronze medals goes to Anastasia Dmitrieva of Russia. The second of the bronze medals goes to Yarden Meyerson of Israel. The silver medal goes to Anastasia Turchin of Ukraine, but the gold medal goes to Maika Zich of Germany. First ever Grand Prix medal, and it's a gold one. And now the national anthem of Germany. There's the winning quartet. Dmitrieva and Meyerson, the bronze medalist. Turchin took the silver, the gold went to Zich. Stay with us, we'll be back with the next of the weight categories. It's the plus 78 kilo category. And the first of the bronze medal contests features Yusra Awers of Morocco. She's up against Anna Gushina of Russia. It'll be Awers in the white judogi, Gushina in blue.
Well, this would be the icing on the cake for the Moroccans to see this young lady take the bronze medal. This young lady, and I say young lady, cadet African champion back in 2016, still very, very young, and has showed such maturity in her judo here in this competition.
The referee in the middle for this one is Frank Wolf of Germany.
Gushina representing Russia, multiple junior European Cup medals already under her belt. Very strong, powerful looking athlete. And powerful indeed as she draws her opponent down onto her knees with just one grip over the top. Left hand on the lapel. The Russian controls quite nicely her opponent's left sleeve. Hooking her with the Uchichimata, and there you have it, Ippon. So Gushina of Russia takes the bronze medal home to Russia, and in style.
Yeah, she came up with a nice big Uchimata there. Awers couldn't get off that.
And there you have the highlights of that very throw. Chigari booked in from Uchimata, hopping right through, very powerful indeed. A wonderful finish there.
We come now to the second of the bronze medal contests. It's an all-Croatia matchup. Ivana Maranic faces Ivana Sutalo. It'll be Maranic in the white judogi, Sutalo in blue. And the referee in the middle for this one is Nedim Beyat of Turkey. Here's Loretta.
Well, Maranic, slightly older than her opponent here. More experience under her belt. Maranic in the Grand Prix in Tashkent back in 2013, who took the gold medal. Also in Baku was a bronze medalist in a Grand Slam. Lady that has a lot of experience and is familiar with being in the medal matches of this level of tournament. Sutalo of Croatia took a gold medal in Cancun Grand Prix. A young lady that's nipping at the heels of her more senior opponent. Well, as we would expect, this is going to be a match that both athletes know each other very, very well. And Sutalo picking up the first Shido in the first half a minute. Not the ideal situation. and slightly changes the dynamics of this contest. Comes in for a drop Seoinage, a little bit wide there, leaves herself open in the Niwaza as the Shimiwaza is there for the taking. Not quite sure at this angle, but the referee calling a halt to it. Obviously wasn't in the correct positioning for the Shimiwaza. Sutalo, as you can see, chasing her opponent, trying desperate to engage with her teammate Maranic. For some reason just looks a little bit uncomfortable there, and will pick up Ashido for her negative approach in this contest. Sutalo piling the pressure on, especially at the edge of the contest area, drawing Maranic down to her knees.
Well, both fighters have had time to settle. The difficulty is that they know each other so well.
That's correct, but Sutalo, who's even slightly shorter than her opponent, seems to be a lot more positive in her approach in this contest. She's engaging more. She has the upper hand with the grips, but both of them are picking up Ashido because they're not engaging in the following up from the gripping motion into the attacking stage. So but at this moment, for what I feel is, oh yes, that's it, planted for a pawn. Sutalo, well, she's keeping the Osakumi there because she doesn't want it to be downgraded to a Wazari, and rightly so. She's done all that work. It was downgraded to a Wazari, so she did very well to anticipate that. Well done for her. Most would stand up, wouldn't they, and celebrate the Ippon win.
Poor Nedim Bayat was waving hands all over the place in trying to keep up with what was being decided, and the cancellation of that, and Wazari, and then the Osakomi, and then the Wazari Awazeti Ippon.
Well, full credit to Sutalo to actually keep on that hold down. Most would actually think, right, I'm off, yeah. That's off, I've got an Ippon, I've won the bronze medal and be jumping around for glory, but no, she kept composure and she kept that hold down on.
Sutalo it is who wins out on the Battle of the Croatians. Let's have a look at the highlights and we'll be back with the second, we'll be back with the final of the plus 78 kilo category. We come now to the final of the plus 78 kilo category. Yelisaveta Kalanina of Ukraine faces Anna-Marie Valencek of Slovenia. It'll be Kalanina in the white judogi, Valencek in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Turbat Entsetseg of Mongolia.
Well, as you can see with the statistics there, Valencek so much further up there with the wins by Ippons, a lot of experience and exposure at this world level of events, but based on performance and potential. I would have said that Ukraine would be tipping the scales here today in this competition. Kalenia in Baku picked up the bronze medal, Hoyhot silver medalist, and this last year's European Championships 5th place. But Valensek back in 2015 was silver medalist in the World Championships, along with last year in Tashkent Grand Prix was the gold medalist. Two very strong athletes. Kalenia coming into this competition as the #1 seed. As you can see there, the Slovenian, as we always know, are very strong in the Newaza, attempting to turn the Ukraine over. Kalenia, as you can see, throwing that right hand high onto the collar, switching it across for the Makakomi, tries to get the rotation. Valensek drops the weight onto the back, avoids the turn, and now starts the attack, where she always looks very comfortable in the ground. Now she's working on that arm, but sadly wasn't able to get a leverage on it. Referee calling mate, and we've got 2 minutes and 51 seconds remaining. Kalenia's going to throw that arm over the top. Lovely as she was there from the Slovenian, stumbling her opponent over, then braces her down into the Newaza, works her way around to the top part of the head to do the Sangaku turn, tries desperately to draw that arm out, but as you can see, it's very strong, the Ukraine. But she's got the leverage on the elbow, drives it over. The referee can see that, but legs just so untidy, wasn't able to secure the legs around that arm.
I just thought that I saw something that I liked from Kalanina there, which was a bit of aggression from her when she was on the ground. She wasn't happy with, you know, being where she was, and she wanted to be up and out of there, and she just looked a bit tough for once, because she can be slightly reserved at times.
Well, looking at the statistics, that's what we were saying, that there's not that many matches she's got under her belt, especially for wins, and this is the sort of exposure that she needs to really toughen her up and to build on that power. And although she's a very strong looking athlete, the core strength is not there, and she has that sort of round shoulder and bent over posture, which is not really as effective as when you've got these powerful legs that she really doesn't generate much power from.
Slightly untidy into the entry into her favourite Makikomi as well.
Yes, it seems her attacks are very weak, and she could be so much stronger. She throws that arm over. It's quite an aggressive throw. She gets the leg in, but it's a soft leg. The leg is bent. It's not really powerful enough, where if she had it a little bit more rigid, the power from that leg that she could generate could spin her opponent over.
Yeah, the support leg as well needs to be in exactly the right spot to generate all that kind of movement that Loretta's talking about. And the target area for Kalanina, she seems to miss with the support leg.
She throws the arm again. It's an aggressive throw. She holds on quite nicely. Valensek tried to touch that leg and draw her down. She gets her down into the position that she really does like, and that is the Newaza. Spins through, but as you can see, the jacket's all caught up and a little bit of a messy ending.
When I talk about the support leg for Kalanina, it's her left leg. So Kalanina's left foot has got to be in between her opponent's feet. That's the strongest point, and it's way, way away there.
Well,
but it was
she's
a different
dragging
technique.
it. When you see it, she's dragging her leg behind her. So there isn't very little power generated from that left leg. Needs to be in a toes being dug in rather than the side of the foot.
Yeah.
What she's doing is overstretching the groin, and the leg can only split so far, and it doesn't have any power in the inner side of the leg. It has to be coming from the rear end, that power. So digging the toes and pushing through is what she needs to do. Well, it's been a very busy match. Both have worked extremely hard there, but Valencic with 2 Shidos on the board.
And Kalanina could steal this just from her work rate. Okay, maybe the quality of the work rate hasn't been good, but the tempo has been good. She's Shido free as they go into the golden score period. And it's always a bad thing if you've got 2 penalties and you're in golden score. 1 and you're out. Well, it's bad when you've got 2 penalties at any time.
Yes.
But Kalanina is penalty free here. So she's got the distinct advantage.
There's that leg coming across, but as you can see, a little bit of Bambi sort of movement.
We spoke about this, yeah.
She's very, very soft in her approach in the dig in for that leg.
Again, it reminds us of Gabriella Willems, not entirely used to the...
Very, very similar. Yeah. Very similar.
Missed with the arm completely that time. Must take the arm, must use your own arm in a makikomi. If you're going over and you haven't got any arm, how are you going to make that
And
work?
the danger is that we know the Slovenian is very good in the Niwaza, so she can't afford to make a very soft approach into the ground, because there you have it, the Slovenian will be on her and she'll be trying to turn her over, and as those minutes tick away in this golden score, she will become tired, and she's not as awkward of a shape in the ground as she is standing up. Kalania throws that arm over again. As you can see, she's trying to get that arm in there. That makikomi, it's a very, very soft approach to it. The Slovenian is waiting for the counter.
And she doesn't have to defend against the makikomi, so she can afford to put everything into the attempted turnover. Got to make your opponent defend first.
Well, Valencic really...
that was poor.
That was a poor one, and she's 2 Shidos down. She cannot afford to make silly errors like that. And
I think that could be it.
I think so. Well, Kalanian has been putting all the work in. She's put those, whether they were strong attacks or not, she's been putting the work rate in. She's made herself look very busy. She's been on the attack. She's controlled the pace of the match. And yes, there's been glimmers of hope from the Slovenian at times with the counters. In the Niwaza, she was very, very strong, and she was very direct in what she was doing in the ground. But I don't know if she's there. Definitely her luck has run out, and the Ukraine takes the gold medal.
Well, there it is then. Grand Prix gold medal for Yelisaveta Kalanina. Party time for Ukraine. We'll have a look at the highlights and then we'll be back with the plus 100 kilo category. Before that, we've got the awarding ceremony for the women in the plus 78. No, let's get this right. We've got the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 100 kilo category. Beg your pardon. Medals are being presented by the International Judo Federation competition manager, Dr. Lisa Rallen. First of the bronze medals goes to Karl Richard Frey of Germany. Second bronze medal goes to Bater Hojamu Hamedov of Turkmenistan. Silver medal goes to Jorge Fonseca of Portugal. Gold medal goes to Kirill Denisov of Russia.
Responsible for the high performance. سلموا مشواري المسؤول عن الفرق الوطنية الدكتور خالد البوصيري. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Russia.
And now the national anthem of Russia. Fry and Hojamu Hamidov were the bronze medalists. Fonseca took the silver. It was Denisov who walked away with the gold. We've got one more weight category to bring to you now, and that's the plus 100 kilo category. And the first of the bronze medals features Hamza Ushani of France. He's up against Alexander Gordienko of Ukraine. It's Ushani in the white judogi, Gordienko in blue.
As you can see, there's no head-to-head. 25 to 27 years of age. There's only 2 years of maturity. Well, in this sort of field of quality athletes, that's not going to make much of a difference when it comes to this match. Gordienko, as the number 2 seed, came into this competition of 17 athletes participated, has got to be the strongest favourite for the bronze medal.
Referee in the middle for this one is Cho Min-sun of the Republic of Korea.
Well, Gordienko in Tunisia at the beginning of the year took the gold medal, along with a silver medal back in 2015 in the Budapest Grand Prix. Gordienko steps across a big harai makokomi. Excellent, well executed and scoring upon, but he's not wasting. He's going to hold on or try and hold on, but the leg's been caught up. Now he'll be hoping that doesn't change.
I don't think Gordienko, even if it did, would feel that bad because the leg was well trapped. It's possible he wouldn't have got out of there and they would have called Tokita anyway, but there's no change to that. So, and he's off, he's not hanging around just in case they decide to change.
He took off. Hey, just in case they decide to change their mind. I doubt it. So the Ukraine takes the first bronze medal in the plus 100 kilograms, and that was very nicely done.
We'll have a look at the highlights here. See what you think when you see it the second time round. Here we go.
Beautifully executed. Yes, he went over quite nicely.
In a good position to see the landing here. The referee right in front of it, was at her feet.
Went over like a ton, didn't he?
Yeah.
Very, very powerful indeed. There was no stopping him on that one.
Right, well that was over and done with fairly quickly. We've got a second bronze medal contest, luckily, because that was over fairly quickly.
One blink and it was gone.
We're going to take a look now at Nabil Zala of France. He faces Alexander Mikhailin of Russia. It's Zala in the white judogi, Mikhailin in blue. And here's Loretta Cusack.
Well, there's a big difference in maturity here. Mikhailin, Olympic silver medalist back in 2012, and talking of 13 years of an age gap here.
The referee in the middle for this one is Jean-Claude Jimby of Gabon.
Zala took the bronze medal back in 2016 in the Grand Prix in Budapest. Also African champion last year in Casablanca. Mikhailin, well, not much introduction needed for this big man of judo. The legend in his own right from Russia, the former Olympic silver medalist in London 2012. Grand Slam in Tokyo, gold medalist, and then the sort of 2012, 2011 was the real time that this mature man, I should say, was shining out and a real contender. But he's battled his way here, just missed out in getting into the final, where he was defeated by Jonas Freyer of Germany.
We'll see in the final shortly.
Well, for me, Mikhailin was one of the top favourites for a medal. He battles away for a bronze here with the more mature athletes of the competition. Zala, as you can see, he seems to dominate the grip there. Mikhailin playing a bit of a waiting game. It's a battle of the kumikata at this moment. Neither one of them really are stepping up to the attacking stage. Just trying to secure the grips. Zala throws that arm over the top, draws Mikhailin's head down. Opts for the lapel there. Mikhailin, as you can see, has left hand on the lapel, the right hand on the sleeve, and working the ashiwaza there, trying to break up his opponent's balance and create an opening for himself. Zala working the edge, piling a bit of pressure on Mikhailin. Works the feet with the Kouchigari, and I think we're looking at another Shido. Could be the third and final Shido for Mikhailin. And there you have it, third and final one, and the Hansokumaki, and the win for Zala for France, takes the bronze medal.
Yeah, having done, the hard work to get to a medal position, you then gift it to your opponent.
Well, it was a bit of a burnout, wasn't it? I think he'd really had given everything he had in the tank in the earlier rounds of this competition and just totally run out of steam in the end.
Zala it is, who takes that one for France. We come now to the final of the plus 100 kilo category for men. Johannes Frey of Germany faces Anton Krivobokov of Russia. It's Frey in the white judogi, Krivobokov in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Khaled Anwar Ali of Egypt. There's Loretta.
Thank you. Well, on the world ranking, Frey, world ranked 74 to his opponent 34. Quite a big few steps down the world ranking ladder, but just got to, we've seen quite a few of the inexperienced athletes coming through here with either winning the tournament or taking a medal, so this world ranking doesn't seem to have played much of a hindrance for some of the lower ranking athletes. Freya defeated Michaelin in the semi-final. Great performance there.
Krivobokov, despite his size, actually moves well for a very big fella. And Freya's going to have to look out for that.
Straight on the attack. Look at that right hand high on the collar for Freya. I'm a little bit cold there.
He's going to know that he's on with one of the big guys here.
Well, he's definitely a contender. Krivobokov in Abu Dhabi Grand Slam last year was bronze medalist. Also in the Grand Slam in Baku back in 2014, silver medalist. So he's very familiar for being in a final stage at this level of tournament. Higher on the world ranking, very similar in age. A bit difference of weight though.
First minute gone, safely negotiated by Johannes Frey. I think I have to put it that way. The longer he stays out there, I suppose, the better the chance that he gets as Krivobokov begins to tire. Both fighters pick up penalties for passivity. However, maybe just a little bit too much emphasis on gripping up rather than really coming up with some strong attacks. Anyway, here we go again.
Oh, we're coming up to the halfway mark. 2.5 minutes remaining in this contest. Krivobokov, as she gets that right hand over the top, he's very dangerous indeed. Yeah, blocks in with the left on the lapel. Well, I think both of these athletes will be looking at another Shido apiece. Neither one of them really taking full control of this contest and taking it to the next level of going from the grip to the attack. The stronger of the two is Krivobokov with the grips when he gets that right hand over the top. Freya. Oh yes, there she was there, stumbled his opponent, just didn't have two hands on. If he'd had a grip, that could have been all over and done with.
I don't know, call me naive or something, but once Krivobokov goes to the ground, why would you not pursue him in near-water? He's got to catch his breath.
Yeah, but for some reason I don't think Freya realised that was going to happen. He threw that one in for just a little bit of luck and didn't realise how well he connected on the soft foot of the Russian. I think that took him as much a surprise as it did with everybody else here witnessing it.
The other thing that you do when you follow up in near-water is to show that you're the aggressor.
Yes.
He's just had an effort standing up, and now Krivobokov is in danger here. That's two in a row The Newaza would have
That's
eaten
it.
up some of the clock. You know, he comes up with one big attack here, Johannes Frey. If he just listens to Troutman and then he gets his head down.
Well, Krivabocka there, he's got that high collar grip. He's the more aggressive, and you see Freya with the head down. He hasn't even tried to lift the head up. He really needs to stop it, but Arnie, well, it does tactically. I think that was the German trying to make out that there was the pushing action, and there wasn't any pushing action there. There was an aggressive approach to attack and not to try and but Freya was trying to get that penalty. Drops in Aggie, but right on the edge, played a very dangerous line there. Well, with 8 seconds to go, Krivabocka has the stronger of the grips. He attempts there at Kosota, a good attack, but once more, Freya didn't attack. He didn't come in for the Newaza. There was an opportunity again, a slow reaction in the ground.
Have to pressure your opponent whenever you get that chance.
Punish him as much as you have an opportunity to.
Also
And
unsettles them in their attacks. Go ahead, Loretta.
yeah,
sorry.
well, he just doesn't. Oh,
Typical big man's throw.
yes.
Just grab hold of him, find a way to bring him down, wrestle him to the ground if you like. Frey doesn't want to get involved in that kind of fight. Back to the
Freya
Ashiwaza.
really needs to try and be. He needs to think carefully now. He moves the man. He's got to move this big man. If he doesn't move him, it's like hitting a brick wall, and he will be countered. There's no doubt about it. And Krivabocka has got the stronger of the grips.
That one went nowhere, did it?
No. Now Krivabocka really has to put something in now. He has to throw that arm over the top. He has to. The Sutemi attempt. Now there was a few. Well, this is where it's all ended. He's going to get. Freya's going to win. I'm sure. There was a couple of good, strong attacks there, and I think it's enough to take the win based on the third and final Shido being awarded to the Russian. And there you have it. Krivabocka takes the third final Shido. Hans Okumaki, and the win goes to Freya.
Freya's got the under 100 kilo category tempo. Krivabocka has got the normal tempo of a plus 100 kilo fighter. So it's more apparent that Freya's being the more active. He was clever at the end.
Very clever.
He came up with the closest to scoring with that Ashiwaza that really unsettled
that was
Krivabocka.
but I think that caught himself by surprise. I don't think he realised by just throwing that leg in that he would have connected so sweetly with it.
The only thing I would say about Johannes Frey is that he could have spent a little bit more time working over Krivabocka on the ground, and
Totally agree.
Just, as you
Just
say, making
punishing
him
him,
pay. Every time you
punishing
go
him down there.
Yeah.
He had the opportunity, and he looked as if to say, "What are you going to do there? Are you going to get up?" And for me, it's a time as well when you're looking at the clock, and you're actually up on someone with attacks, and you're looking the more solid of the two. You punish him even more every other opportunity you get, but he didn't do that. So something to work on anyway.
We're going to have the awarding ceremony for the women in the plus 78 kilo category now. The first of the bronze medals goes to Ivana Sutalo of Croatia, and to Anna Dushina of Russia. Those were the bronze medal winners. The silver medal goes to Anna Marie Valenche of Slovenia. The gold medal goes to Yelisaveta Kalanina of Ukraine. She almost sheepishly accepts that gold medal. It's been a long time coming for Kalanina. She's had a few close calls before. Today was Yelisaveta's day. 4 previous outings resulted in a single silver medal, but the 5th was awarded with a gold medal winning performance today here in Agadir. Now the national anthem of Ukraine. Two ends of the weight scale. Daria Biladid, the lightest at 48,
Yes.
and Yelisaveta Kalanina, the heaviest. And Ukraine have got 2 gold medal winners there. 2 gems. Very happy.
What a
for
team,
them.
though. The Ukraine's strong athletes coming through. Some that are already there. Some have got real potential, like this young lady, Kalenina. For me, there's a few things you could work on with this powerful woman, but more towards the core. Stand upright and fight like hard.
Stay with us, we'll bring you some highlights and then we'll be back with the last of the awarding ceremonies, the men in the plus 100 kilo category.
Dear friends, we're waiting for the last awarding ceremony for men over 100 kilos, so please stay with us till the end of the last awarding. Thank you for your cooperation.
المرجو من الجمهور الكريم الانتظار حتى آخر سنين، وشكرا لكم على دعمكم.
You can see the highlights of today's final block on the screen.
تشاهدون أحسن أهم اللقطات في هذه اليوم.
The last awarding ceremony for men over the 100
Come now to the awarding ceremony for the men in the plus 100 kilo category.
The medals will be presented by refereeing supervisor of the International Judo Federation and Olympic bronze medalist, Mr. Akinobu Osako.
Medals are being presented by Osako Akinobu, member of the IGF refereeing commission, and the first of the bronze medals goes to a Frenchman, newly arrived on the scene, Nabil Zala. Second bronze medal goes to Alexander Gordienko of Ukraine. Silver medal goes to Anton Krivobokov of Russia. The gold medal goes to Johannes Frey of Germany.
وتسلم شواهد هذه الفئة من قبل السيد الكاتب العام للجامعة الملكية المغربية للجودو وفنون الحرب السيد بكر بن بكر.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Germany.
And now the national anthem of Germany. Well, Russia topped the medal table with 3 gold medals. Slovenia took 2, Turkey took 2, as did Germany. There was a gold medal too for Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Switzerland, Israel and Morocco. We've got more judo for you next week when we bring you live action from the Ekaterinburg Grand Slam in Russia. But from Loretta Cusack-Doyle and myself, it's bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
So, results and 3 countries, team of Russia.